Well, hello, hello. Hi, this is Rosa, RCG Creations. How are you doing? Bringing to you today another little cheat. I'm going to be making some cinnamon rolls out of a can of biscuits. Now this biscuits, these are from Pillsbury. They're the grands. And you get 8 biscuits. Okay, so I'm going to open this up, lay them out, and then I'm going to bring you back. I'm trying to really stay under my 15-minute time frame here. Okay, so we'll bring you back in just a sec. Okay, we're back. I went ahead and rolled out all 7 of these biscuits. I've got one left, so I just want to show you. I do have a pastry sheet down. I have some flour just sitting here loose. My rolling pin is my old favorite rolling pin. I got this during my first wedding back in 1980. And you can see it's loved, but it's not really overly used because I'm not a baker. So basically all you're doing is you're rolling out the biscuit. You want to make it flat. And I don't do really round stuff, but then you know what? With practice, I will get better. And you want to dip it into the flour so you can make sure that it doesn't stick to your rolling pin. And I'm just about done with this one here. And I'm keeping an eye because I definitely want to make sure I stay under my 15 minutes. Okay. Well, that one's a little bit crooked. Let me turn this around. And I do know when you're rolling, well, I don't know, it's just what I've read on all my stuff that I've been reading, is you want to put even pressure on everything when you're rolling something flat. And I don't know, if somebody knows, please let me know, if that's how you get a more round shape. Because the thing is, I want to learn how to do pie crust. And then I want to make some pie crust to keep in the freezer. So this way, all I have to do is roll it out and it's ready to roll. I don't have to worry about making it and stuff. So here we go. So now what you do is you get your 4 pieces, and move this over to the side. And you're going to overlap it just a hair. And I'm going to bring the camera down so you can see what I'm talking about. So we're going to overlap these. Okay, this is going to be this way, because that one's kind of a long, it's more like a rectangle, not a circle. Oh well, I'm learning. And then you want to overlap this one with the one on the bottom. And then so forth and so forth. Okay, so you want to lay these down. And because the I don't know, it's whatever's in the flour, they will, even though you flatten them out, they're still going to get puffy. Okay. Now what you want to do is you want to pinch. I'm just going to lay these part flat with each other, the ones that are overlapping. And when there's a gap, I'm going to show you there's a gap. Let me turn my camera so I can see what I'm doing. You see that gap right there? Whenever you get a gap, you want to pinch the dough together until it makes one solid piece. Okay? So, let me go back. Oh, sorry about that. I'll make my tripod level. Sorry. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch. I'm making sure this is going to stay down here down. And then anything that's overlapping, you don't want to see any gaps. You just want to make sure that it's touching. And when one piece of dough is touching another piece of dough, flatten it out so they become, basically you want one solid piece. And that's because we started off with 8 round pieces of dough. If you're making your own dough from scratch, I would love to hear any comments of anybody. Post in the comments if you make your own dough from scratch. I would love your recipe. Send me an email with your recipe. I would love to try it out, because I've already dabbled a couple times, but it ain't coming out as good as the people that I'm watching do. And I mean, it tastes okay because you really can't mess too much on the taste part, but the technique part is what I need help with. And so if you shoot me an email, I always put my email address in the description box with your recipe, with the ingredients and how you do it all. And if you have a video, give me your video. Post it in the comments section. I'll definitely share your name on my videos of where I got so-and-so information from. Because I love to give everybody, you know, we all need to work together, which most of us do. A lot of us YouTubers do work together, you know. And it's just another way to spread the name around. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. Because it looks like it's all pretty level. Now I'm going to get a stick of butter. And this, you want, do yourself a favor. Get your cream cheese and your butter about an hour to 2 hours before. And take it out so it is at room temperature soft. So my cream cheese has been out. I may use this whole stick of butter. I don't know. And then, I don't have any fancy tools or anything, so I'm just going to use a regular kitchen knife. And it's soft, but it's not overly soft. And you really want it soft because you want it to spread. And you don't want any very big chunks. So, and you don't want it to be hard because you don't want it to tear up your dough. So I'm just going to spread this all over the whole thing. So I'm going to spread this out, and then I'll bring you to the next phase, is where we're going to add the brown sugar, and then we're going to add a layer of cinnamon. So I'll bring you back when I come to each phase. Okay? Okay, we're back, and we got one of these little, we have like 6 of these. Thin little silicone spatulas, and I used that to smooth it all out, and it was a lot better than using that knife, because I guess it's because it's flexible. Okay, so next we're going to sprinkle brown sugar, and this is my homemade brown sugar. And I'm just going to get it in my hand so I can sprinkle it in there. For those of you who don't know how to make your own brown sugar, all you do is get molasses. Oop, I got a couple of dribblers. This fireways there. You get molasses and you mix it with regular granulated sugar, and you mix and mix and mix and mix and mix and mix and mix. You can put it in the mixer. You can do it by hand. Of course, with me, as you can tell, I like to work with my hands, so I use my hands. I mix it with my hands. But I've seen some people do it with a mixer, food processor, blender. And then you just mix it all up. Then you get these little dark granules like this one. Oops. Let me bring that up to you. Let me show you. And all these is layers of molasses that settled with the sugar, and you can squeeze it and separate it, because all it is just extra layers of molasses. That's all. Oh, there goes my alarm for another chore I gotta do. Me and my chores, I tell you, they never stop. Can I have one day with no chores? Actually, I have chores every day, but I do take breaks, and I say, I ain't doing any chores today. That's usually on a Sunday afternoon. We go to church, come home, have lunch, prepare stuff for supper, and then that's usually my day where I sit on the couch recliner with hubby, and we veg in front of the TV, or I get on doing my social media. That's usually when I play catch up with a lot of my videos, when I see my people that I've subscribed to their channels. And that's usually what I do. I mean, I work all day long in front of the computer. Whoops, something just fell. Oh, that was my extension cord. If I push it too far back, it falls. It sits on my chair there. The back chair rests there. So, you know, after being in front of a computer all day long, 5 days a week, once I get home, that is the last thing that I want to do, is get on the computer. Except for when I'm editing my videos for y'all on YouTube. I love to do that. I like doing it. I just don't like the editing part because it takes forever. That's why I like to leave my videos at 15 minutes. Because those don't take near as long as the ones. If you see go scroll down to my other videos and you'll see a couple of them that are like an hour long, 50 minutes long. Those took a while to edit. And I'm getting better at editing, so I'll have some more skills on computer stuff soon. Okay, so there is, whew, it's all sticking to me. That's okay. I'm going to wash all this. Now I'm going to sprinkle my cinnamon. Love me some cinnamon. It smells so good. I wish we had smell-o-vision. I wish there was a button I can push on. You can push to say smell-o-vision and you can smell this. It smells so good. Okay, so that's, I'm going to make sure that I have no white dough showing. I'm going to sprinkle my cinnamon all over that. And of course, as it bakes and it rises, it's going to ooze out anyway. So we should be good to go. Okay, now here's the tricky part. You want to roll this at the same time. So you want to pick it up. Now, of course, because this is biscuit dough, you're going to be some parts going to be longer than the other, because that's just the way it is. Unless you're a very good roller-outer and you can roll everything into an even space, which if you are, I definitely need some tips from you. Please, 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 post in comments and shoot me an email, because I really am enjoying doing this. And so I like to make sure it's a pretty project that's being handed out and given to others to enjoy, because this is way too much sweets for me and hubby, you know, because we are both on our weight program. But you know, one little bite is not going to hurt. Like, I was a good girl when I made my cookies. I hope you saw my video of my oatmeal cookies. I was good. I only had 2 oatmeal cookies out of that whole batch, so I was good. The rest I gave to some co-workers. They're not really co-workers. They're in the same office building with me, and we become good friends. When you're running down the hallway, go to the bathroom, hey, how's it going? Hey, what's going on? And you're catching up with everybody and stuff. So we don't have any close family that's close by. Daughter and the grandkids and the great-grand, they all live out of state. So we don't have anybody, but we have a lot of great friends. So that's who I bake for. And some of my neighbors, which I consider them to be great friends. And you're going to have some that's going to come out and come loose. But that's okay, because we're rolling it out. Now look at that. Didn't that turn out pretty? I've got my little roll. Now I'm going to roll it back. Actually, I saw how they did it. You just pick it up and lay it flat. Then you roll it toward you. There you go. Whoops. There we go. And you're going to roll the whole thing toward you. And then you're going to pinch the little ends so they seal. Okay, and then I'm just going to pinch the endings, because when it's baking, you don't want it to come apart on you. Which you could, because you just never know it's baking. My dough's got a mind of its own. But if you pinch them together, you pinch one piece of dough with the other. And here, let me move this out of the way so you can see. Here I am. Oh, you can't see me. I'll bring it up in a minute and I'll show you. You want to pinch the dough pieces. Basically, what you want to do is totally enclose it. That's what you're trying to do. Okay? And you're going to have some little loose pieces, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. It's still going to get cooked. And it's still going to taste good because you know what? When you're dealing with sugar, it always tastes good. Okay, so that's there. Now, let me sprinkle my hands out a little bit. I'm cheating. I don't want to have to worry about doing a big old clean mess up. So I'm putting parchment paper inside. I'm hoping, I don't think this is going to be big enough. We'll see. If I have to get another pan, I get another pan. And I'm putting parchment paper. Let me get that out of the way. In here. There we go. Now we're going to slice these to whatever thickness you think you want. Oh, you know what? I'm supposed to put flour on this thing. Yeah, you want to get your flour so it doesn't stick. And then here's the little piece. See that? And this is supposed to go on the top. So I'm going to lay that down. I'm thinking about that's a good size. Because I don't want these to be real huge because this is a little baking pan. But see, there's where the roll is. See that? Ah! Oh, I just dropped a piece of sugar. There we go. And you want this part to be on the top. Okay. So I'm going to continue doing these. Slicing and putting them in my pan. And we'll see if I need a bigger pan or another pan. Okay, we're done with the flour. So I'll bring you back when we come to that phase and I get ready to put them in the oven. Okay, I finished rolling them all up. This pan was a little too big, but the other one was too small. But here's what they look like. And now my oven timer went off, so that means the oven's ready. So I'm going to put them in the oven. And no one ever said which rack, so I'm putting them in the top rack, but I don't know if it makes a difference if it's the medium, middle, or the bottom. So just to be on the safe side, I'm putting it on the top rack. And then they're going to bake for anywhere from 9 to 12 minutes. So I'm going to set my timer for 9 minutes. Check them to see if they're golden brown. Now, keep in mind, because there's butter, brown sugar, and cinnamon, the bottom layer is going to get all dark and crusty because that's just all the stuff that's oozing out. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the biscuit is burned. What you want to do is you want to look for the top of the biscuit to make sure that it's a light golden brown. I don't really care for cinnamon rolls that are really dark. I like them barely golden brown, but cooked. So we'll keep an eye on that and we'll bring it back. And in the meantime, I'm going to clean up my mess and then I'm going to make the frosting. The frosting is a package of cream cheese that's room temperature softened, some sugar, and vanilla. And there was one more thing. I forget what it was. But anyway, I'll put that in the description. More than likely, I will do a pop-up box on the beginning of the video with all the ingredients. And the description is going to have all the ingredients, the quantity amounts, and the recipe itself with the directions. I'll bring you back. Okay, now we're going to do, well, the biscuits are baking. And I was wrong. It takes 15 to 20 minutes to make those biscuits. So I set my timer for 12 minutes just to be on the safe side because I want to check them out. So here's my cream cheese. It's all softened. Remember, you want it at room temperature. So I'm just mixing it up. Make sure there's no little lumps or anything in there. Now I'm going to add my vanilla. This is my homemade vanilla. And I would say probably like a tablespoon. And then I'm going to sprinkle some sugar. I would say like half a cup. But I'm going to go easy because it's already got the sugar from the brown sugar and the cinnamon rolls. So as long as this has some sweetness in it, I'm pour like maybe 1/4 cup, if that much. But again, like anything else, you taste it. Oh, I need to go get me a spoon because these are going to be to share, and I don't want to double dip in my topping. Then grab myself a spoon. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I'm charging my camcorder, my video camera, because it's running low on juice. I don't want to be right in the middle of it thinking I'm recording. It's not recording. Okay, so that looks pretty well. See that? Looks pretty good mixed up. Oh, smell that vanilla. You can smell that cream cheese. Yum, yum, yum. Let's take a little taste. Oh, yeah. Definitely love. You can definitely taste the cream cheese and hardly anything of the sugar. So maybe add a little bit more. You want to taste a little bit of sweetness in your frosting. Now, you could also do the powdered sugar. And what I'll do is in the description box, I'll put a recipe for this one here. But I also will put the recipe of making your own icing with powdered sugar, which pretty much is powdered sugar and water. It's really all it is, and a little vanilla. So instead of using cream cheese, you use powdered sugar, but I tend to think the powdered sugar is overly sweet. So I want to enjoy my dessert without going, ooh, that is so sweet. I don't know. I can't handle sweet stuff. It's like when I have a cake from anybody who makes it. I don't care who makes it. I don't eat the frosting. I don't eat it. Any kind of frosting. I don't care what it is. I don't care who made it. Professionals. We've been to some fancy restaurants where we're talking like $150 a plate. And icing, I just can't handle. Most of it is way too sweet. Okay, so let me get myself another spoon. Put that one away since that's a used one. And let's take a taste. Tad more sugar, because actually I would like it just the way it is, but hubby, he wants sweet. So I'm going to compromise and meet us both halfway. You know, let me put a little bit more in there. So I would say I probably put like a cup of sugar in here. Maybe not a full cup, maybe like a 3/4 cup. I think that's what it is. It's half, 3/4, and then full. I think that's how you do the measurements. And I do a lot of, I know I have a recipe that's got the measurements, but I just go from my short experience. But I have a lot of good friends that love to bake and cook, and I watch them as they're doing stuff. So I don't have hands-on experience, but I have eyeball experience of seeing what they're doing when they're looking what they're doing. Okay, one more. And then my mom was a really good cook and baker. She didn't bake a whole lot, but she did. Now my daughter, she is a cook. Oh yeah, that's right in the middle. We'll put all of our stuff away. Set this to the side, because what you want to do is as soon as the biscuits are ready, the cinnamon rolls are ready, you want to put your icing right on top of that hot stuff, because you want it to melt and get inside all the stuff. Now, this one I'm going to show you is on the wet side, but it will get hard as it sits. And it's also going to ooze inside the cinnamon roll. So we'll bring you back when it's time for the taste test. We'll bring you back. Okay, we're back and they're out of the oven. And I want to show you, see how they are all bubbling. And you see the excess sugar and the brown sugar that came out of the pan. This is why I did a parchment paper, because I did not want that cleanup mess. You know what? My kitchen, my rules, I get to do it my way. Okay, so now, while these are still hot, I'm going to drizzle. And I went ahead and got a bowl that's got a little spout to make it easy. I'm going to drizzle the cream cheese topping over the whole thing. I'm going to do a light drizzle. And see how easy that is when you have a little spout? So that makes drizzling them over. And it speeds things up for you a little bit too, because you don't have to sit there and lay icing on each single one. And since I have extra icing here, I'm just going to dribble extra on the sides, since I do have it. No, they're not totally pretty, because, you know, this is, again, was my first time rolling these out and doing them. But actually, that don't look too bad. But I think that's more than enough icing. I'll ask Cubby if he wants to taste some of this icing. If not, I'm just going to put this in the sink and wash it down the sink. So let me show you what they look like, and then we're gonna have to wait a few minutes for them to cool down. But there they all are. See that? Now let me grab a little plate. I'm going to take one out. Let it cool off just a minute. And I'm going to do my taste. Let me put this over here out of the way. And we're just going to get one with the one here on the end. Oh, look at that. See that? In fact, let me bring you close. You see that? See how it's nice and golden? And see the top of the icing? And actually, that looks pretty. That one's not too shabby. And you see how, because you pinched it, see where the layers would pull apart? In fact, let me... Okay, yeah, I'm in... No, I'm not in frame. Let me make sure you can see me. Okay, now you can see me. Okay, see, I'm going to pull that apart, because I like to pull mine apart. Look at that. Two thumbs up. I do really like that cream cheese icing. And I think because of the sugar, the brown sugar and the butter, it's more than enough. But for those who really want an extra sweetness, you might want to try the powdered sugar instead. Now, also, before you roll this out, get yourself some crushed pecans or walnuts and sprinkle them all over. Then roll it up, and you'll have one with nuts in it. But one of my co-workers, she's well, one of the people in my building, she's allergic to nuts, so I wanted to make sure she gets some, so I didn't make any of this batch with nuts in it. It's definitely cooked all the way through the center. So, but I will tell you this, if you put them in the top rack like I did, bake them at 375, set your timer for 12 minutes, and then check from there every 3 minutes. Because these actually took me, because I started at 325, because I thought that's what the recipe called for, but I was reading it wrong. So, if you do them in the middle rack, I think 350 will be just fine. For anywhere from 10 to 15, that's my alarm for another chore. Okay? We'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and share. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up.